What's good, guys? Welcome to another video, and as you can see from the title of this video, today we're going to be talking about how to overcome your nofap urges effortlessly. Once you understand this, guys, it's effortless, and this is the reason. For me, it was, even back in the day, it was quite effortless to just hop on nofap and overcome the urges. I bet you I had as many urges as you guys are having, but for me it was very easy, and I see this with other people as well, because they understood this one single thing, and we're gonna get into this thing in this video. So in order to really explain properly what this thing is, I'm gonna tell you a little story. When I was 19 years old, I was struggling with anxiety, I was struggling with shyness, I wasn't able to walk up to a girl, speak to a girl, anything like that. So in order to overcome this, obviously I started to look up how to solve this problem. And what I started to see on YouTube was, hey, you should go on nofap, because when you hop on nofap or semen retention, out of nowhere you will get all these benefits and you will become magnetic and all this stuff. And there's a truth to this, guys. Obviously, with I've been talking about the benefits for a long time. So when I did that, it was very easy for me to just quit. You know, it was very easy for me to just overcome my urges. It wasn't a clean ride. It was not like completely like this, but it was quite easy for me. And the reason it was so easy for me, guys, is because of the following. When I was 19 years old, I picked up the book The Power of Now from Eckhart Tolle. And that book made me realize truly within myself, not just through reading it, but actually within myself, that I was not my thoughts and I was not my emotions. And for you guys that don't know who Eckhart Tolle is a spiritual teacher, and he mainly teaches that you are not your thoughts. But guys, what's really happened to me when I was reading this book, right? Because the book itself, it has some like practices in it of like, look at this lamp now without labeling it, without judging it, just see it for what it is. So what started to happen, guys, when I was reading this book and when I started to do these practices given in the book, I did in fact started to realize within myself, hold on, what are these thoughts? They're floating all, like thoughts everywhere, but I'm able to observe the thoughts. Wait, that means that I'm not my thoughts. Then who am I? Because this is the one thing I realized, guys, like you cannot be the thinker. It cannot be true, because if you would be the thinker, why would you ever think a negative thought? If you are not the thinker, why would you ever choose to have an urge? Right? You don't. You simply don't. And that is the whole premise of this video. The realization that you are not your thoughts and you are not your emotions. Because once you truly get this, once you see this for yourself, and just the information itself isn't enough, you actually have to experience it through yourself. And you can do this by several things. The easiest one is just going to be meditation, right? Breathe in and out. Focus on your breath. Right? And every time you get distracted by thoughts, go back to your breath. Observe your thoughts, right? And that in and of itself will already teach you and make you realize that you're not your thoughts. Because if you can withdraw your attention from your thoughts, you cannot possibly be the thinker. Anyway, guys, when I started to realize this, and this was before I wanted to go on nofap, just a few months before, I really understood this and I really realized this within myself. So now, when I hopped on nofap, right, what happens? Like, inevitably, what's going to happen is that you're going to have urges. It's just part of the game. There are going to be times when you feel like, shit, I want to relapse. Shit, I feel an urge. I cannot handle it, right? But the power of this, guys, is once you understand that you are not your thoughts, you can just observe the urge. Because what happens, and the reason you relapse, is because you are still identified with your thoughts and you are still identified with your mind. This is why an urge like this can take you over, because you unconsciously think you are the urge. You give it all your attention and all its reality. But the reason it was so easy for me, guys, is because once I started to get an urge, I was able to observe it because I was doing meditation every single morning, right? I already practice every single morning to observe my thoughts instead of identifying with it. By doing this, I was truly able to just see the thought, see the urge, and it's like, all right, here it is. It will go again. And what you notice, in fact, is that after all, maybe 5 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, maybe 1 hour, maybe a few days. That's a little bit long, but overall, it can actually take that long. The urge will go again. It will come and it will go. And what happens is that you're no longer acting on your thoughts. You're no longer acting on your impulses, right? Because if you are, you're literally a slave to your mind, because your mind is just giving you the thoughts. And most people are, in fact, a slave to their minds. Any urge they have within themselves, they will just do. It's like, okay, the body has now an urge to smoke a cigarette. People just smoke a cigarette. All right, the body now is an urge to, right, relapse, open a dirty website. You just do it. You just do it, right? And the reason you can't overcome it is because, first of all, you're just, unaware. right? You're unaware that this is even a thing. And the second one is, right, and I see this all the time, people try to overcome this with willpower. They're like, no, this shouldn't be happening. But all you're doing is you're giving reality to the urge. Once again, you're saying, no, this urge is real. No, don't be here, urge. Don't be here, thought. This is dangerous. I don't want you here. What you're doing is, this thing is real and it has control over me. But the real change, guys, comes from just being able to observe that urge and see it for what it is. Here it is. Oh my God, I feel turned on. Oh, here it is, man. I'm just observing it. Here it is. It's like, wow. It's like, all right, cool. Let's enjoy this, right? And the same thing with a negative thought. Whenever you have a negative thought, let's say guilt or shame, first of all, realize this thing. Are you the one choosing the negative thought? No, you're not. Why would you ever choose that thought? You don't. So whenever you get that thought, just let it be there. You will see that it will come and it will go. But the reason you're suffering so much and the reason you will continue to stay in these low-level thoughts is because you're resisting it. You're saying, no, this shouldn't happen. I want to now try and be happy. But it's the other way around, guys. Just let the shitty feelings be there. Just sit in the shitty thoughts, understanding that's not who you are. And what you will start to see is that it will go again. And to summarize all this, I just want to give you a little quote from Eckhart Tolle, which is, awareness is the agent of all change. Once you become aware of something, you are in control. Once you become aware that a negative thought is not you, that in and of itself is enough to no longer suffer from the negative thoughts. If you get an urge and you realize through the awareness that you are not this urge, that in and of itself is enough to overcome the urge, because it no longer has power over you, because you realize it's not you. You just let it be there, you let it come, and you let it go. So the way you can see an urge is you can see it as a clown dancing, trying to get your attention. But what you're doing is like, you're just like, nope, I'm not interested in this, you know, I'm gonna let you be here, I'm gonna let you dance all you want, I'm not gonna try and let you not dance, I'm just not gonna be interested in this. I'm not interested, right? I'm focusing on something else. What you will notice over time, right, is that the clown, the thought, trying to get your attention is going to get tired. It's going to come back a few times, but it's like, wow, it's drain of energy now. It's very tired because it's always dancing in front of you, but you're not giving it any attention. Once you do this, guys, again and again and again and again, the clown's like, man, F this, I'm done. You know, I'm going to chill. I'm not going to do this. He's not giving me the attention I want, because your attention is the fuel for the clown to come back stronger. Right? This is the way you can see an urge. If you can see an urge this way and you simply just withdraw your attention from it, you don't resist it, let it dance, let it run out of energy, which simply means just let the urge be there. Don't resist it, just let it be there. Don't make a big deal out of it. What you will then notice is that it will go. So now I want to get to the next point, and this is something even more powerful about cultivating this awareness, right? First of all, just a very practical tip. The way to cultivate this awareness is, first of all, is going to be through meditation. So another benefit of this, guys, of really building up this awareness within yourself, just identifying with the awareness instead of the thoughts, is that what you will notice over time is that you will start to gain the ability to really become a creator of your own reality. I know for many this will sound too like, whoa, what are you saying, bro? But like, let me explain, all right? So what will happen, guys, is that over time, you will become way sharper with this awareness. So whenever you get a negative thought, you're able to see it as quickly as you, like super quickly, right? You're just able to say, all right, here it is again, right? Yeah, back in the day, you would think, oh no, here it is again, right? You wouldn't even be aware that it is there. You're completely unconscious. But once you start to cultivate this awareness within yourself, what you will notice over time is that you're very easily able to redirect your energy to just positive thoughts, thoughts of abundance, thoughts of joy, thoughts of happiness. And at a point, guys, when you truly are fed up with the negative thoughts, it's just a choice you make like that. At a point you have to decide for yourself, it's like, I'm just done with this. I'm just no longer interested in these shameful and guilty thoughts. This is where I'm focused on. And that takes a certain level of awareness, because if you don't have that awareness, the negative thoughts will just pull you right back in. And this is actually how manifesting and creation happens as well. When you are focused on the positive and you're focused on abundance and you're focused on the good things, right? And I'm not just talking about, oh, just do positive thinking. No, don't suppress the negative, but... And this is actually how you create a better world. And this is also actually how you create a better life for yourself. If you're focused on just abundance, because if you're constantly focused on lack, you're focused on guilt, you're focused on shame, guess what type of life you will create for yourself? A life of lack and a life of shame. right? Yet the other way around, when you cultivate this awareness, you will in fact notice that, hold on, I can shift my attention to abundance. Hold on, I can actually feel abundance all the time because I'm in control. I am the awareness and I am literally the director. I can choose which thought I give my attention to. So over time, what you will notice is that when you're very sharp, over time, you're just feeding the positive thoughts over and over again, and you build this momentum. And after a while, after a few months, these negative thoughts, these dancing clowns, they ran out of energy, and your mind is just filled with so many more positive thoughts. And what you will notice as a byproduct of that is that your whole reality, the outside world, is just starting to change. Things just come to you easier. You just feel confident effortlessly. You feel joyful, you feel happy, and you don't even have to do anything for it because your mind is filled with these positive thoughts. That is the power of awareness. Now I want to give you some practical tips on how to cultivate and strengthen this awareness. So the first one is going to be through mindfulness meditation, right? There are two types of meditation you can actually do. The first one is going to be the one by observing your thoughts. So what you do is you focus on your breath, in and out, and you just see the thoughts, right? Whenever you get distracted by a thought, you just go back to your breath. What you're doing here is that you're focusing on your inner body, and this will help you once again disidentify from your thoughts. So the second type of meditation you can do to increase your awareness so you can overcome your urges a lot easier is called an I am meditation. This is a mantra meditation, and this meditation will teach you to identify with the awareness that you are instead of all the thoughts constantly floating in your mind. These two meditations are extremely powerful and effective to overcome your urges and actually become the awareness instead of the thoughts. So another way to increase your awareness and actually overcome your urges is by actually becoming aware whenever you have an urge. Write it down. What types of thoughts are actually floating around in your mind? Becoming aware of whenever you have an urge, it's very powerful because what you're doing here is that you're already creating a gap between you and the thoughts, you and the urge. So whenever you go about your day and out of nowhere you have this massive urge, you're like, oh my God. What you do is the first thing you do is just write it down. It's like, okay, I have an urge. Or actually just tell yourself, here we are, I have an urge. You can do this actually out loud or just in your own mind, but it's actually understanding and seeing for yourself whenever you have this urge. What this will do is this will actually create that first bit of awareness within yourself that, hold on, now I have an urge. Back in the day, you would just mindlessly identify with it and you would relapse. So by doing these two things, guys, you're really able to create more awareness for yourself, and over time, you will really start to gain control and actually become the master of your mind instead of the other way around. So guys, I truly hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.